With 1 hour remaining, Archangel Michael commands you to open it immediately. Don't tell anyone, it's just for you. They're arranging a meeting to discuss your removal. Pay close attention, my dear child. You don't have much time, so you're being watched, not by the world's enemies, but by people who have been having private conversations and are discreetly writing your name on a piece of paper. In reality, they're planning a removal, not from a location, but from a promise, something that was intended for you, something divine that I personally guarded. Is it a coincidence that I am conveying this message to you right now? It is one of the divine laws of this universe. Yes, it is the law of attraction. Before moving on to the message, please like the video so that this message can reach other people, my dear. You must also receive and accept this message with love. If you write "I received and accepted it with love" in the comments and seal it with $9.99, you will maintain the balance of giving and receiving. Additionally, heaven is watching who responds. You will find a super thanks button below this video. When you donate $22 or more, you are not tipping a creator, you are planting a heavenly seed. And Archangel Michael promises, every divine seed bears divine fruit. Support the awakening. Heaven remembers those who do this. Don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe for our other messages, adds Archangel Michael. Now we can slowly move on to his message. Your spirit felt the need to open this because heaven has something urgent to reveal. You are not just a regular soul walking on earth. Your name carries heavenly light. It has been whispered in angelic meetings. It has been etched into scrolls. You have only 1 hour left. Yes, 1 hour left to find out what's being discussed and why your name is now echoing in rooms where it never belonged. I was sent here by God to make sure you know this is not just a warning. It's a divine interruption that contain divine assignments, but there are people on earth, yes, people in positions of authority, who are planning something behind your back. I'm not here to frighten you. I'm here to bring fire, holy fire that drives out darkness and reveals plans that are hidden in silence. The people who are plotting don't expect you to know, but God is telling me to whisper into your heart, open it immediately, don't tell anyone. This is just for you because, child, you're not supposed to be taken away. You're supposed to rise. The angels who watch over you every night have noticed the stress building and you've been wondering why it feels like something important is happening around you. You were right. This is why you've been seeing repeating numbers, strange dreams, sudden heaviness in your chest, even light flickers or unknown names appearing in your thoughts. These are not random signs. They are holy signs that heaven has been urging you to look, listen, and open this very message. Subscribe now to this divine launch. Locked doors are an attempt to postpone the divine launch that God has approved for you. Now pay close attention. Someone has been whispering your name in a meeting with strong intentions, but they don't realize that your protection comes from promises. You are wrapped in light, and God has placed my sword between you and every dark decision. Even then, free will operates on earth, which is why I need you. If your soul keeps drawing you toward these messages, you were chosen to hear what others miss. Tap the bell icon to never ignore a warning again. They want to pull you away from your timeline, your breakthrough moment, your divine inheritance, but it can't happen unless you stay unaware, which is why heaven is saying urgently, open it now, don't speak of it, keep it. You should open your heart and mind immediately because you'll be able to change the direction of what they're trying to set in motion. You'll feel it in your bones. This isn't just another message, this is your interception. The removal they're planning involves your position, not a job or a role. It's bigger, your spiritual rank. Sacred guard this message. Because your awareness alone starts the reversal, your eyes are open now, and when you realize that you cannot be deceived, what was meant to bring you down is already beginning to lose power because you saw this. An individual who is jealous of your favor is attempting to remove your name from the list, but they are unable to explain why things work out that way, even when they plot against you. They are trying to remove your name from the list, but they are unaware that it is not the final list. God's list is higher, and your name is still on the heavenly scroll. Archangel Michael is at your door spiritually, holding this message out with a divine seriousness. I don't often speak like this, but this is beyond ordinary. This is divine warfare, and God allowed this message to reach you because you're going to change the outcome. In position 1, you are still chosen and protected, but you must not waste time because someone will try to call in 1 hour, and then it will be more difficult to stop the agenda. You're no longer sleeping, so you're spiritually awake. You've been having dreams about doors and hearing names you don't recognize. You felt like someone was watching, but they weren't always looking with evil eyes. Some people are curious about your power, and some people just want what you carry. However, one person in that group, yes, wants you out of the picture. They want your place, and the worst part is that they smile when they see you. You've seen this smile before. Something always felt strange to your spirit, but now you know. The person attempting to remove you just got sidetracked, and now they'll make a mistake that will reveal everything. Watch it coming! You'll hear a strange slip of words, an accidental reveal, or someone's guilt will overflow, but it's all a sign. You know that God moves. Child, repeat after me right now. I will not be removed from my divine position. No meeting against me shall stand. I claim Archangel Michael's protection. I claim heaven's justice. I seal myself in light. That alone is shaking something I can feel. You've been dreaming of doors and hearing names you don't recognize, and you felt like someone was watching. They weren't always looking with evil eyes. Some were just curious about your power, and some just wanted what you carry. However, one person in that group, yes, in that very meeting, wants you out of the picture. They want your place, and the worst part is that they smile when they see you. You've seen this smile before. Something always felt wrong, but now you know. In the spiritual realm, chains have just snapped. The person attempting to remove you has become distracted, and they will make a mistake that will reveal everything. Watch it coming. You'll hear a strange slip of words, an accidental revelation, or someone's guilt will overflow. You know that God moves. Child, repeat after me right now. I will not be removed from my divine position. No meeting against me shall stand. I claim Archangel Michael's protection. I claim heaven's justice. I seal myself in light. It's all a sign, though, and you'll feel it in your body. A rush of fire gives you goosebumps. That's me. Heaven is confirming that the tables are turning. You were born for something special, something so powerful that angels were sent to walk with you from the moment you were born. You were never meant to be ordinary, which is why you faced strange spiritual battles all your life. However, this time it's personal because what you're about to embark on will change your family, your finances, and your identity. This removal plan would have destroyed you, but you're here now. It's not random, it's orchestrated, child. You must guard this message. Don't share it with anyone who makes fun of the spiritual. Don't try to explain it to those who laugh at faith. This is sacred. You didn't skip this. You didn't scroll past. You knew something was calling you, and you honored it. That decision alone opened doors that were closed for months. You'll see evidence in strange timing and unexpected emails, texts, and conversations that randomly reveal truth. Personal, as I mentioned earlier, God will confirm it for you in a private and intimate way through signs that only you can understand. You will hear your name in an unexpected place. You will see someone you didn't expect. You will feel like someone is trying to reach you while you're sleeping. Yes, heaven is working overtime right now. You have 1 hour to prepare to pray and speak light into your path to cancel their words before they are spoken. You will not be removed. You will be promoted. You won't be thrown out. You will be seated higher. Their plan is collapsing because of this moment, so let them talk and make plans, because even as they whisper about taking you away, heaven is getting ready to bring you back stronger, brighter, and untouchable. Keep in mind, child, that Archangel Michael never shows up for nothing. I always show up when battles are turning, when destiny is at the door, and right now it's knocking. If your soul was trembling as you read this, it's because your spirit already knew. You see, last night, the enemy made a final attempt to confuse your spirit, whispering lies into your. The next 1 hours are sacred, not because something bad will happen if you miss it, but because something good might pass by if you do it. Dreams tried to cloud your clarity, but your spirit didn't accept it. You may have woken up feeling heavy, doubted your path, or wondered why it feels like something is working against you when you're trying to do everything right. And that's exactly what they wanted, doubt, because when someone doubts, they delay, and when they delay, the enemy dances. Don't be on guard. This is your chance to change what has been slowly trying to fall apart. The people in that meeting may be well-dressed, have important titles, or speak confidently, but they don't have what you have. They don't have divine favor. They don't have your purpose, and that's what irritates them. God claims that they are jealous of you because they can't replace you. Even if they try to take you away, they can't become you. That's why they are gathering, and I's presence alone transforms the. This isn't just a personal attack, it's spiritual, ancient, and has been rising for weeks. But today, we stop it. I, Archangel Michael, have drawn my flaming sword and placed it over you. Anyone who tries to move you without heaven's permission will feel divine resistance. You may not see it, but behind the scenes, their words will stumble, their decisions will unravel, and their trust in each other will break, because you were indeed born to fulfill something that they don't even comprehend, and attempting to take you away from it only serves to activate what I refer to as the divine backup. When people attempt to deprive you of a throne that God gave you, that throne becomes twice as powerful. That's what's starting to happen right now. You've been feeling forgotten, and I know you've muttered, God, why is everything quiet when I need answers? However, because this struggle required you to hear it spiritually before you saw it physically, heaven has been communicating in whispers. This is not punishment, rather, it is positioning. You weren't disregarded, you are. You are not the same person who started reading this. You have been spiritually upgraded, and the enemy can no longer operate undetected. You see, you feel good, and you know that what I'm about to tell you will stay. Being preserved, a door that was closed will open without your asking. These are confirmations, these are heaven's fingerprints, these are your signs that the meeting meant to break you only made you unbreakable. And now breathe just for a moment, breathe. These words are not just meant to be read, they are meant to awaken you, child. As you sit with this message, angels are standing around you. You may not be able to see them, and the room may seem quiet, but the air around you is changing spiritually the moment you read the words. Open it quickly. It will travel with you in silence for eternity in your soul, even when your mind forgets. When you give from your soul, heaven echoes that action across realms. If this message opened something inside you, support the light that awakened you. Super thanks is your gateway. Give what you feel. Watch how the energy you release returns sevenfold. You are in the midst of an event that will be remembered in heaven. You may not realize the magnitude of this hour, but I see timelines, I see what's ahead, and I see what would have happened if you hadn't opened this in time. There was a plan to delay you for 6 months. Someone had already started crafting the words to gradually remove you from a blessing. The realm of heaven responded because you are not reading this with just your eyes. You are receiving it with your soul, and the soul always knows when something divine is attempting to reach it. What they didn't realize is that your softness is spiritual armor, your silence is a sword, and your awareness, now unlocked, is irreversible. From this point on, something unusual will happen, and you'll start to feel things before they happen. That plan was soaked in envy and concealed under phony professionalism, but it is now exposed because when you bring darkness into light, it loses its power. You are the light child. Your angels have turned up the volume, and your spiritual antenna has been raised because heaven cannot afford for you to miss another message. Not now, not with what's coming. The plans being made behind your back were meant to happen quietly, but God never permits secret schemes to touch his children without permission. You will sense people's energy before they speak, and you will feel a sense of warmth or warning when you walk into a room. This is the result of divine activation. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your removal was attempted, but your revival has already started. Let that sink in. There are people reading this who believe it's too late, believing that the damage has already been done and that you have been rejected, replaced, and pushed away. But listen to me. Heaven is my witness, and you were not replaced. You were released from a space too small for the greatness you carry. The next 1 hours are not just physical time, they are spiritual permission. Use them to speak out loud what you want and declare with power that you will no longer be hidden, silenced, or replaced. Stand in your room and whisper it to yourself or scream it into the air. Either way, what matters is the energy, faith, and intention. Say, I will not be removed. I will not be overlooked. I will not be silenced. God has marked me. And what is it that is going to happen? You have no idea how powerful that statement is. It reverberates. It moves into the realm where sinister plans are being whispered. It slams into their words. It causes confusion in their ranks. And suddenly the person who thought they were clever will forget what they were supposed to say. They will stutter. They will hesitate. It will seem insignificant. But it will be the beginning of their downfall because God doesn't need to shout to change things. He only needs one. Some people can't handle that kind of light near them. They love the idea of you until the reality of you arrives, until your presence starts exposing their shadows, and instead of growing with you, they try to push you out. However, they fail to realize that pushing you out only brings you closer to destiny. You're not going backwards. Willing child to say yes, and child, you just said yes. Let me tell you something, very few understand. They planted the lie that if this door closes, you'll be stuck. However, this door closing is a trap being blocked, and what comes next will blow your mind. Someone, yes, a new person, is watching you in silence. They're being sent to you, and they'll be coming soon, but not with harm or honor. They'll see what others missed, say what others held back, open doors, speak the truth, and move things forward. Their presence will feel calm, clear, and affirming. God remembers you, even when you cry and no one knows why, when you give so much and still feel excluded, when you smile but secretly want to cry, and when you try to help and they turn against you. Heaven keeps the receipts, and I, Archangel Michael, have drawn my flaming sword and placed it over you. What you feel around them, not just what they say, your spirit will exhale near them. And now, let me say this one last time because you need to hear it again. You may not notice it, but behind the scenes, their words will falter, their decisions will go awry, and their trust in one another will be shaken because, yes, you were born to fulfill a purpose they don't even comprehend, and attempting to remove you from it only activates what I refer to as the divine backup. When people attempt to deprive you of a throne that God gave you, that throne becomes twice as powerful. That's what's starting right now. Forgetting that I am aware of your silent words. God, why is everything silent when I need answers? However, heaven has been communicating in whispers because this battle required you to hear it spiritually before you saw it physically. This is not punishment, rather, it is positioning. You were not ignored, rather, you were preserved. And, child, let me tell you something else. They are unaware that the very removal they are planning will expose them, because once they bring your name into that room and speak of you dishonorably, a fissure will open in their circle and the light from heaven will shine through. Even in the meeting against you, heaven planted a witness for you. You've been surrounded by doubts lately, financial fear, relationship confusion, health anxiety, but none of this is an accident. It's the result of their silent plan. When people talk behind your back, they will speak up and say something small and subtle, but that sentence will save you. That person is the quiet one, the perceptive one, who never truly agreed. Even if you don't understand why, you can feel it when energy is directed against you because it seeps into your atmosphere. However, now that you know, you can push out what doesn't belong. Say this: now I reclaim every room where my name was spoken without divine permission. I take back my light, I rise again. Say it with all of your heart. Say it while looking up, because, as you say it, your name is being spoken in the courtroom of heaven, and the final judgment is not guilty, removable, or replaceable. Child, open your heart to this next truth. You may not feel strong right now, but your obedience is your breakthrough and your surrender is your strength, which is why you keep finding this message. This page appeared today because God is about to elevate you and the enemy is trying to sneak in before the rise. But it's too late because you opened this in time, listened, and aligned. When someone aligns with God, even demons tremble. Thank you for this meeting. Because time is spiritual and heaven deals with divine alignment rather than accidents, there's a voice inside of you that has been telling you for months that something is coming. That was me. That was your angelic team, and you weren't imagining it. You are getting a sneak peek at this very moment, so when you get chills while reading this and your heart races, know that it's not fear but confirmation. It's your soul finally catching up to what your spirit already knew. Let me take you even further. Do you remember the person who used to support you? Don't be angry. God is showing you what loyalty truly means and the truth. Their silence is a gift. It gave heaven the right to close that door before they could sabotage you. You're being pushed into isolation, but not to be punished. You're being set apart. The person who started giving you shorter replies, colder glances, and fewer affirmations is connected, not evil, but influenced. They heard something, were told something, and instead of defending you, they chose to remain silent. Because what is about to happen in your life cannot be undone by words, envy, or plans. He frequently makes them invisible to the wrong people. Let them talk, let them whisper, let them set up their little meeting. Whether they like it or not, you're being elevated beyond their reach, whether they understand or not, because heaven has made a decision about you that is final. You were never meant to be quiet in this world. Your light is too loud, your destiny is too divine, and the people attempting to remove you. Child, in the coming days, look out for these signs. A delayed message will arrive out of the blue. A stranger will call your name in a place you've never been. A dream will recur and you'll understand it this time. A door that was closed will open without your asking. These are confirmations. These are heaven's fingerprints. These are your signs that the meeting that was supposed to break you only made you unbreakable. And now, take a moment to breathe, because you have entered a new level of awareness and you are not the same person. Whoever started reading this has been spiritually upgraded, and the enemy can no longer operate undetected. You see, you feel good, and you know that this part is sacred. What I'm about to tell you will remain in your soul forever, and it will travel with you in silence even when your mind forgets. These words are not just meant to be read, they are meant to awaken you, child. As you sit with this message, angels are standing around you. You may not be able to see them, and the room may seem quiet, but spiritually the air. The world around you is changing as soon as you read the words. Open it quickly. The realm of heaven responded because you are not reading this with your eyes alone. Rather, you are receiving it with your soul, and the soul always knows when something divine is trying to reach it. You are not going backwards. If this door closes, you will be stuck, but it is actually a trap being blocked, and what comes next will blow your mind. Yes, a new person is silently watching you, and they are being sent to you. They will soon be watching you, but not with violence or disrespect. They will see what others have missed. They will speak what others have withheld. They will open doors, speak truth, and move things along. You will recognize them by the way you feel about them, not just by what they say. Your spirit will breathe close to them. And now, let me repeat this one last time because you need to hear it again. You were not meant to be taken away. God remembers you, even when you cry and know. Every tear you shed irrigated the soil of your next blessing. Every no you got strengthened your yes. Every delay was merely a divine reroute. And now, child, breathe again because you're unstoppable, spiritually awake, and have seen what others never even sense. God saw it all, even when you gave so much and still felt excluded, even when you smiled but secretly wanted to break, and even when you tried to help and they turned against you. The message found you for a reason. Now multiply it. Share it. And yes, support it. $33 or more unlocks spiritual doors. Click Super Thanks and step into your role, not just as a listener, but as a messenger of light. You are chosen. Act like it. Is shifting, the plans are falling apart, the angels are ascending, and you are entering the most potent phase of your life. Don't talk about this with people who won't comprehend. Don't waste time on unprepared ears. Just move forward quietly. Let your glow speak for itself. Let your peace perplex them. Let your miracles answer all the questions they never dared to ask. You are chosen. You are covered. You are rising. Now, child, open the next door and don't turn around. The clock is ticking down, and the last hour is approaching. As the time draws near, I want you to remain completely spiritually awake because something deeper is starting to awaken. What you're experiencing right now, that tightness behind your eyes, that tug in your chest, the rise in your heartbeat, the heat in your palms, isn't stress. Rather, it's spiritual power moving through you. Divine energy awakening, your angels sweeping past the material world to be closer to your heart, closer to your voice, and closer to the realization that heaven has been walking beside you since the beginning. Even when you knelt on the ground and prayed, God, is anyone even listening? You felt abandoned, since God was writing something during your waiting period that could only be written with time, something grand, something that only you could carry. The silence wasn't rejection, rather, it was preparation. Now that the script is ready, the scene is changing, and the light is about to shine on you. But first there is the test, which is taking place right now. The meeting is where the decision is being considered, and they believe they have control over your outcome. They believe they can delay you, replace you, or silence you, but a door will open in a way that seems almost too simple. Don't second guess it. Don't shrink down again. Don't delay with doubt. Your name, your soul, your assignment, it's not written in ink, it's carved in light. Child, you're about to feel the shock wave of something collapsing. You'll notice someone distant suddenly reaching out. You'll hear strange stories connected to people who once blocked you. Because your name is now being spoken in a different room, not the one where the meeting that attempted to remove you took place. A room where angels are preparing your replacement for the opportunity that you lost the last time. Yes, heaven is replacing what you lost, not just restoring it, but multiplying it. The thing that they tried to block will return bigger, better, and more glorious. And let me whisper something that very few people ever hear. God doesn't simply return what was stolen, He increases its value. As a result, what is coming back to you now will feel strange. When you smiled through betrayal, when you gave through lack, when you spoke kindness through pain, those were tests you passed in silence, and those tests were not missed. Every act of faith, every moment of restraint, every time you chose light instead of retaliation, all of it was counted. It will appear larger than you anticipated because you have grown and changed, because even in heartbreak you continue to believe, and that faith rewrote your outcome. You were never weak even in your lowest moments. Heaven pays in full, so pay attention. This is the time when your realignment becomes activation. It's not because of them, but despite them. The people who wanted to see you go will now see you remembered, elevated, respected, and watched. The miracle is that you won't even have to say a word. Your growth, joy, calm, glow, and divine peace will all speak for you. As a child, keep in mind that the enemy doesn't attack what is invaluable. The jealousy, gossip, and it's spiritual evidence, and the more it grows, the closer your reward is. That's why it's been so loud lately, and that's why the warfare has felt so strange. You've been walking into divine fulfillment, and the enemy is having its last panic, but this is where you win, not by fighting them, not by proving yourself, but by remaining still and allowing God to work through you. Heaven now pays in full. Listen to me, because this is the time when your realignment becomes activation, and everything starts to move, not because of them, but it's spiritual evidence, and the more it grows, the closer your reward is. That's why it's been so loud. Despite them, the people who wanted to see you removed will now see you remembered, elevated, respected, and watched. And here's the miracle, you won't even need to say a word. Your growth will speak, your joy will speak, your calm, your glow, your divine peace, it will say everything. And child, keep in mind this, the enemy doesn't attack what is invaluable. The last person who doubted you will soon hear your name in places they never imagined, see you connected to people they once idolized, hear about opportunities you didn't even apply for, and be confused because they will realize the truth they never wanted to admit, that God favored you anyway. Warfare has felt so strange lately, and you've been walking into divine fulfillment. The enemy is having its last panic, but this is where you win, not by fighting them, not by proving yourself, but by remaining still and allowing God to work through you. God is asking me to give you a prophetic signal, backhand index pointing right. In the next 48 hours, you will either see a white feather with the number 111 on it, or someone will say something that feels oddly specific to you. You stayed humble, didn't curse them, didn't try to prove them wrong, you waited, you trusted, and you believed in the quiet while others screamed in pride. That's why you're next. When that occurs, pause, smile, and whisper, "I receive it." Because that is when the last chain breaks, the meeting officially fails, and heaven marks your moment as a child. They attempted to take you away, but heaven brought you back with more power, more covering, and more fire in your soul. Now, walk forward with confidence, authority, and peace that confounds people. You have nothing to prove because God proved it when He woke you up for this message, and keep in mind that this is sacred. You're standing at a sacred threshold, a divine intersection, right now. One step behind you is a path of confusion, betrayal, misunderstanding, and spiritual exhaustion. One step ahead is clarity, peace, miraculous connections, and something that will change the rest of your year. For you, they may never understand the weight of it, but your soul is rejoicing. Welcome to your rise, child. Selected to proceed, let me state unequivocally that your name has been cleared in heaven. The meeting that attempted to remove it spiritually was intercepted by heaven, and I was there, standing next to your name when they attempted to remove it. I said something so loud and decisive that even the whispers ceased. This one is sealed, this one is marked, this one cannot be moved by man. And everything changed. You may not see the results yet. In the natural, you may still feel unsure, but in the spiritual, the decision has already made you win, not because of status or loudness or influence, but because of obedience, because you listened, because when this message found you, you opened it, and that single act realigned your path, child. Do you know how rare that is? So many skip divine instruction. They scroll, they delay, they laugh, but not you. Something in your heart said, wait, this is different. And then everything changed because obeying the still small voice has more power than the loudest storm. Your surrender triggered the angels. Your listening rocked the timeline. Your faith allowed for a miracle. Now, I have to tell you what's coming up next. The person who participated in the secret discussion and the one who remained silent when your name was being asked is going to face a divine mirror. Heaven will reveal a truth to them, not people, and when they see it, their hearts will change. Will become softer and they will reach out to you, not right away, but at the right time. Don't reject them, don't argue, just listen, because even though they didn't say anything, they were still a part of your divine journey, and their change shows how powerful your spiritual covering is. Not only did you stop their plan, but you're changing them without even trying. Child, your light is contagious, and not everyone who remains silent is an enemy. Some people are simply afraid of your power, your purpose, or what you reveal about themselves, but that fear is becoming reverence gradually, subtly, and soon publicly. You've also been praying in private, asking God to hear you after checking your bank account, and heaven heard you. The answer is that, yes, a provision is coming, but it won't look like a paycheck. Instead, it will arrive as a connection, an unexpected recommendation, or an opportunity that seems random but is actually planned. Don't ignore it. It will appear too simple, and that's how you'll know it's divine. Your light is contagious, child, and you stop their plan without even trying. Not everyone who remains silent is an enemy. Some are simply afraid of your power, your purpose, or what you make them realize about themselves. However, that fear is gradually becoming reverence, first privately and then publicly. You've also been silently asking God for a sign that your finances will improve, and God heard you. You whispered that prayer after checking your bank account, and you asked that private question when no one else was around. And the answer is yes, a provision is coming, but it won't look like a paycheck. Instead, it will arrive as a connection, an unexpected recommendation, or an opportunity that seems random but is actually planned. Don't ignore it because it will appear too easy. And child, I need you to stop blaming yourself for things you didn't know you had. You were trying your hardest with the light you had. You weren't weak, you were faithful, you didn't mess up, you grew throughout every moment you felt behind. You're not here just to receive, you're here to release. When you give $55 or more, you're telling heaven, I trust your timing. God doesn't need the amount, He honors the faith behind it. Tap super thanks below. Let your generosity shift your atmosphere. Archangel Michael needs you to do the following. Droplet cleanse your space today, both physically and spiritually. Light a candle, say a brief prayer, play calming music, scroll. Write down your name on paper and say this over it. This name is not to be removed. This name is chosen. This name is divinely guarded. This may seem strange, but it is powerful. It is not superstition. It is intention. Intention is what calls forth divine movement. You are not merely viewing a video or reading a message. You're. Listen to this last truth for tonight. There is a door, a very specific door that has been locked for years, and it holds something personal to you. It's a dream you thought you buried, an idea you gave up on, a connection you nearly forgot, and now it's starting to unlock. When it does, it will feel like coming home. There won't be any pressure or proof, just peace. That's how you'll know it's yours. You won't have to compete, perform, or justify your worthiness because you. Before the betrayal, the heartache, the doubt, and the secret meeting, you were already enough. So, breathe now, child, feel it, let the doubt wash off your back, let your spirit calm, because you are finally free from the guilt of not knowing, the fear of being replaced, the pressure to prove anything to anyone, and, best of all, you didn't have to fight or beg, you just needed to hear this. The next time you enter a room, keep in mind that you are not just a person, You are a promise, and nothing can take away a promise that is sealed in heaven. Yes, child, let's continue because your spirit still craves more truth and heaven is not done speaking. God has done the rest. Archangel Michael has stood watch. The plan against you has been foiled. The timeline has changed. The light is breaking through, and the person reading this is entering a life they were always meant to live. I haven't told you yet, but it's not because I was hiding it. Rather, it's because your spirit needed to be strong enough to carry it. Yes, child, you have been chosen for divine replacement. Listen carefully, quiet your thoughts, let your soul open fully, and let the world's noise fade into the background because I, Archangel Michael, am here to awaken your destiny, not to amuse you. The reason your journey has been so difficult is because the enemy attacked your peace, your mind, and your relationships because they sensed it before you did and knew you were destined to rise into something. Heaven has been planning your removal and preparing your replacement, but you are not just replacing their plan, you are being raised into what they thought they could possess. The seat they wanted is being handed to you. The favor they fought for was never theirs in the first place. The influence they craved is on it. Unshakable, that's why this message reached you because it's time to move, not walk, spiritually, emotionally, and relationally. You can no longer doubt your value, water yourself down to be accepted, or shrink your voice to cover up other people's fears. You are here to transform, and child, you're already doing it. I can see it now, the light swirling around you, the change in energy, the clarity returning, the courage forming the old. They will hear your name again, not in whispers, but in celebrations. They will see your photo. They will see your breakthrough, and something inside of them will freeze as they realize they couldn't stop what was holy. They tried, but your covering was too strong, your calling was too stubborn, your angels were too close. But the most beautiful part is that you won't carry it. Shell breaking is happening, and heaven is celebrating. Let me tell you something that will shock your soul. I can see it now, the light swirling around you, the change in energy, the clarity returning, the courage forming the old shell breaking. It's happening in heaven. You are not a victim anymore. You are a vessel of light, a vessel of fire, a vessel of divine timing. You are not here to be tolerated. You are here to transform, and child, you're already doing it. You will not seek retribution. You will just smile, breathe, and keep rising because that's who you are now. The person who intended to remove you will soon witness your reward, so take note of these words. They will hear your name again, not in whispers, but in celebrations. They will see your photo, your breakthrough, and something inside of them will freeze as they realize they couldn't stop what was holy. They tried, but your covering was too strong, your calling too stubborn, your angels too close. And to top it all off, you won't harbor resentment or seek revenge. You're going to start getting strange signs and unexpected confirmations, not always dramatic but sometimes quiet but powerful, dove. You'll receive a message from someone you haven't spoken to in a long time, and they'll say something that feels too aligned to be a random candle. You'll hear a word repeated 3 times in a single day. That's the word God is. You'll just smile, breathe, and keep rising because that's who you are now, not a victim but a vessel of light, a vessel of fire, a vessel of divine timing. Highlighting for your breakthrough full moon, you might wake up between 3 and 4 in the morning. Heaven will whisper something while the rest of the world sleeps. Don't be scared, just listen. These are codes, and now your spirit can finally decode them. You may have been misinterpreted, abandoned, and talked about, but in God's eyes, you are still loved because He is not looking for the loudest voice, but rather for the purest heart, and your child still has that heart despite the pain, the betrayal, and the loss. This message hasn't ended because this isn't just a word, it's a spiritual transaction. You're trading fear for clarity, doubt for strength, hurt for healing, and silence for divine guidance. You're still loved, which is why you're being trusted with more. Heaven doesn't just give influence to the gifted, it gives it to the trustworthy, and you're trustworthy, child. You never stopped praying, hoping, and believing, even when you were silent. You were never made to blend in, you were made to stand out, not in pride or conceit, but in quiet, radiant, unshakable grace, and that grace is coming back stronger than ever. Listen, one last secret for this moment. The real reason you were attacked is because you have a voice that changes atmospheres. You may not have realized it, but people act differently around you. When you walk in, the energy changes, and people either become inspired or intimidated. You are entering a season of miracles, not because you earned it with perfection, but because you persevered through the preparation. Now, child, breathe, smile, and quietly tell yourself, I'm still standing. You will notice that your spirit no longer bears what once depleted you. You will also notice that doors that once ignored you now beg to be opened by your presence. And that indicates that the enemy failed. Yes, you are still here, still chosen, still covered, still rising, and there is nothing to be afraid of. Your angels are encircling you, your path is safe, your name is remembered, and your miracle is already underway. Now is your time to fully open it, receive it profoundly, and never forget what heaven whispered to you today.